who was looking at some African fish eagles in Cebuya on that virtual safari, and we've been hearing a lot of African fish eagles where we are. And ladies and gentlemen, you may not believe this, but this is the very, very same river we have seen many times, where the other day I could literally just walk through from one side to the other. It could be now 10 meters deep. The very famous Mara River. Will you believe that? This is rains for 2 days, and I think the biggest rain from last night, because apart from the Masai Mara, we had rains from the whole country, according to the weatherman. We have seen logs here being washed downstream, huge trunks, stumps of trees like that you see there, and all of them are being taken to Serengeti National Park, and then hopefully they end up in Lake Victoria. Well, hippos are very clever. All of them are out. This particular spot, not once when we come here we see 20, 30 hippos out of the water in open small islands, well, with their babies. 0 hippos currently. So what they have done now, they have moved to safer, higher grounds, like where I was talking about the water spillage from the Bila Shakalaga, and that's where all the hippos have gone. None of them can afford to be here, because we know hippos do not swim, or they are not good swimmers. Hippos do not float, and if they remain in the river, definitely they will die. They'll be washed downstream and drowned, and maybe end up in Lake Victoria, as I said, where most of these logs might end up one day. About 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, I called Eric to ask him to whether he could hear the currents on the river, because our tents are very close to the river, and it was rising highly. And we just came out and started listening to the waterfalls as it was running down. It will be very difficult for the migrating animals, and if nothing changes, it's going to be very tough, especially for the wildebeest. The wildebeest don't come until maybe another 3 months from now, end of June or maybe early July. But we also got a feeling they might come early this year, possibly even by end of May, because the rains we're having, the rains are what triggers their movement. Once they know the rains are on, there's enough to eat, this grass will be up, they'll be tempted to come to this side of the Mara, but it will be very difficult to see the wildebeests crossing this particular river that sometimes they call the river of life and death. So this water will end up in Lake Victoria, and Lake Victoria is the source of the River Nile, and I'm sure you know the River Nile is the largest and the longest river we got in Africa. Barely, believe me, all the crocs are out of this river. They have taken cover. Nobody wants to be in this. I mean, they cannot breathe. It's going to be very difficult for them. As much as barely, they're always able to shut their nostrils. They can shut their eyes under the water. They will not remain in that condition for long before needing to breathe. And they know, because crocs do float, and the water is always very powerful. It's strong enough just to push them downstream. So all of them, I won't tell you, barely, they are out of the water for their safety. Yesterday, not sure, barely, you saw, we had a croc on the road. I mean, today we had hippos on the road. And this is becoming quite exciting for me and Eric, because we don't need to move very far to look for the animals. We are seeing fish on the roadside, we are seeing birds on the roadside, crocs coming on the roadside, hippos on the roadside. Not sure what else we are going to see coming by the roadside and making our life easier, albeit the heavy long rains we are experiencing now.